Welcome to Color Folk and Anime, where we talk about anime from a colorful perspective. I'm your host, Lance. I got some friends with me, Chris.
Hi.
Jordan.
Yo.
And a guy who keeps the lights on, Malcolm.
Hello.
Quite literally. And oh man, this episode it's gonna be great. Before we get to all of our wonderful things that we are going to be talking about today, which I usually summarize, which I'm not doing no more. Jordan, what are we doing?
We haven't done this segment in a while. It's our "What are you reading and watching" segment.
Yay.
The noise. Yeah, the anime wow. Yeah, what are we reading and watching? So for me specifically, this has been a fruitful week. If you're not caught up on Solo Leveling, get caught up on Solo Leveling. I'm looking at you, Chris.
I like to let it build up, you know?
It's been building. You've been letting it build for a while now. You should just read it. Just read it. Rip the Band-Aid off. Just read it. Because this week's episode was so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody in that group that we're in on Facebook, the Black Nerds group, posted about Solo Leveling. And I was like, oh, just you wait.
Yeah.
You wait.
Which makes me think of Hamilton. Go on.
Huh?
As you said, just you wait. It makes me think of Hamilton.
Yeah, no, I don't do musicals.
I've heard of it though.
Yeah, right. I've heard of it too. But yeah, so read Solo Leveling. Hopefully sometime in the next year or two, they'll hopefully animate it because then it will be amazing.
Yeah.
Other than that, I've been reading all the standard fare. One Piece, bunch of other stuff. Days, I'm still reading Blue Lock, which Blue Lock is getting an animated season this time, sometime in the spring, I think, spring or summer. They're animating Blue Lock, which would be dope. For those that don't know, Blue Lock is a sports soccer specific anime, and it's great. And then as far as things that are not necessarily anime, I started watching Hawkeye. So the first 3 episodes are out.
Oh yeah, that's
Did you enjoy yourself?
Right.
Today's Thursday.
Did one come out yesterday?
So it releases.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I'm watching them
Wednesdays.
tomorrow.
The fourth one came out.
It comes out on Wednesdays.
Okay, cool. So I've only watched the first 3 so far. And I actually like it a lot. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. You heard we're getting our Daredevil people?
Oh yeah, that's
Yes,
right.
we are.
Yes, of course we
Well,
actually.
and what's his face? Matt Murdock is going to be in Spider-Man too. Supposedly.
Yes, but
As
the
he
way
should
the
be.
director
That's the
even
story
talked
they're
about it,
telling.
Feige? Is that his name? The
Yeah,
way he
Feige,
even talked about it, he's like, I don't know how we're gonna do it, but we're gonna include him. I was like,
That's funny.
okay,
But like, sir, didn't you already?
Yeah, didn't you already
Ain't
do
the
it?
Right, I'm
movie
like-
ready? It
Yeah,
comes
right.
out in a couple weeks. What do you
Right.
mean?
Like, what do you mean?
Right, exactly.
yeah.
But yeah, so Hawkeye's been fun. And actually, funny story. So one of my coworkers, so the Native American woman and the girl that plays her,
Yes.
she's
She's
from a
like-
reservation here in Wisconsin.
Oh, she's from here?
She's from a Menominee
Wait, who-
reservation
who
further
you
up
talking
north.
about?
So the
What?
character that plays
Echo.
Maya,
Oh,
Echo,
word.
and her younger
Wisco.
version,
We
her
don't have
younger
like a
version-
cool
Oh,
thing
her
to say.
younger
I guess,
version
but-
is from
Yeah,
here.
yeah. Well,
Oh, okay.
yeah, the younger version is
I
from
thought
here,
you meant
and then
like
the
the
older
main-
version is her cousin.
What?
Yeah, they're cousins.
That's
Stop
hilarious.
it.
So, yeah, it's cool.
Well, they
because
were
she-
super intentional
she
about
got-
finding like
yeah.
someone that actually was. They
Yeah.
were like, we want it to be accurate. The
Yeah.
only thing with her that's different is that she's a amputee
She's missing
too.
yeah.
Right.
So it's cool because my coworker, the younger version, the little girl
Mm-hmm.
that was in sign language, she's not deaf. She learned sign language for
That's
the
For the
show,
role.
That's
which is
cool.
dope.
That's cute.
And she had to keep it a secret for a year that she was in that show. Which, can you
The
imagine
Marvel
a girl
secrets,
that
man.
young?
Being
Yeah,
able
look,
to do
keep
it.
that-
You miss it for days on
Yeah.
end. And then, like, where you at?
Right, exactly.
But like, don't worry about
Plan.
it.
Gone for a minute, right?
Here's my doctor.
Get out of my
note.
bag.
Right.
Yeah,
my
right,
doctor's
exactly.
excuse.
Signed by
Chase a
some
bag,
Marvel
don't worry
doctor.
about it.
Right.
Doctor Strange. Can you imagine you got
Oh,
Doctor
did you
Strange?
see the interviews where they're doing for Spider-Man and Zendaya's been like, yeah, you know, like someone's spoiling what's going to happen to Iron Man before you watch
What?
Endgame. And then Tom's like, someone spoiled that for you? I'm so sorry, kind of thing. But it was him.
Yeah.
Because he told her what happens
He-
to Iron Man in
he has
Endgame
been
before she watched it.
Accidentally spoiling so much stuff.
Yeah.
Tom got to show
That's
up.
funny.
He really.
I
Somebody
love
Right.
Tom.
somebody has to take his social
Shut it
media
up.
away between the time that they finish rapping and then the movie comes out. Like,
They always
no social
put
media for
him
you.
with someone to
Yeah.
kind of be
Yeah.
like,
Or when
Yeah, right.
the first couple they had him on press runs with Benedict. And then they had him on press run with
Anthony Mackie.
Yeah, that was hilarious too.
They were hilarious.
Where like Anthony Mackie was talking about, oh yeah, I haven't seen any of the Spider-Man movies, and he was like, oh yeah, I haven't seen a Falcon movie. Oh right, there's one. Like, I was like, all right.
I thought it was super funny.
Yeah.
But no, so cool. Yeah, so that's a really cool aside that the Native American girl is from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So cool.
You can't
aside.
make Hawkeye without Wisconsin.
That's where we are if you haven't put
shout-outs.
2 and 2 together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin, right.
So much
That's where we're
pride.
based out of, for those that didn't know. So if you are a Wisconsin native, hit us up because we love to meet up.
Oh yeah,
Or
for
if you're
sure.
Illinois, whatever, Minnesota, whatever.
We'll drive to you. It's Illinois,
for sure.
Chicago's an hour away.
Yeah, Chicago's an hour away.
If you like,
Going 100.
yeah, if you like,
I mean, like you go to the north suburbs, like
yeah, I mean, like if
not like Chicago.
meet us on the east
Like,
side,
yeah,
just
right.
somewhere east.
Yeah,
Safe.
we can meet in Gurney. You know,
Just don't meet us nowhere near Midway Airport. But go ahead.
no,
My
that's
bad.
way too far. Anybody trying to drive that far?
Not the Midway Airport.
Yeah,
I just flew out of Midway. It's sketch.
Yeah, it's sketch. And it's
was confused dropping someone off, and I'm like, "Are you sure?"
Right. I fly out of Midway.
Do they fly
times.
people out of here?
Yeah, right. That's like the secret of like witness protection.
Like
One of the
It's like, "Oh, take me to the airport," and I'm like, "Oh, O'Hare," and I'm like, "No, Midway." I'm like, "There's another
Midway.
one."
Ugh. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
my privilege
yeah,
thinking.
so Hawkeye's dope.
Yeah.
We're probably gonna get flamed for liking Hawkeye. But I don't care.
What? No, everybody
people
likes Hawkeye right
No, people
now.
don't like Hawkeye.
What? Really?
Critics don't
No,
like
the
Hawkeye.
series.
Oh,
You've seen
what?
people
Yeah, no.
not like Hawkeye online.
Yes.
Who?
Oh.
People, I don't know.
People that
Them.
That's why I thought I was in the minority that I liked it. So I guess
No,
Oh,
whatever.
most
I
of
mean, I'm
what I've
enjoying
seen
it.
has
Yeah, I'm
been
really
people
enjoying it.
liking it.
Okay, cool, good.
Okay, good. I was like,
Other
wait,
than
what?
that, I've been watching. So I'm like, remember how I told you like a couple weeks ago where I like will play video games or watch anime.
Yeah.
So I started actually doing both at the same time because
Ooh.
multitasking for the win. So when I'm playing video games, I'm actually just playing One Piece.
Do you play video games with subtitles?
Yes.
If so, how are you living your life?
No.
How does that work? Subtitles.
No.
Like,
If I'm playing a video game, I'm watching dubbed anime, so I can like half
okay.
and half pay attention.
Cool,
At
that
the
works.
same time,
At the same
like
time,
that.
yeah,
What have
right.
you been watching dubbed?
Hulu has One Piece dubbed.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
that makes sense.
So yeah, Hulu. I've been watching my dubbed One Piece on Hulu, and One Piece's dub is actually decent. It's not
Yeah,
terrible.
I've heard that dub
Um,
is.
So
Not
I've been
bad.
watching One Piece while because I'm on my quest to catch up on the anime. So
Yeah.
and I like literally I started from zero again. So not like again, but like
Yeah.
I'm like to like the Alabasta arc right now,
Ooh.
which is still pretty early,
good
but
arc.
like
Yeah, I gotta.
really early actually.
I gotta
still.
What
start-
is your
I gotta start
favorite
the
One Piece arc? Somebody asked that in our Discord. Did you answer? I can't remember.
Honestly, probably the one they're doing right now with Wano.
Wano.
Probably the Wano arc. Either that one or Impel Down. Impel Down's a
Oh, I
great one
fucking
too.
love Impel Down.
Yeah.
Impel Down or Thriller Bark I like a lot.
Yeah, Thriller Bark is good too.
Thriller Bark.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to start my One Piece journey, but
Yeah.
got a couple of the
It's
animes
a
I'm
journey.
juggling.
It is
and
a
you just
journey.
have
It's literally
to
a journey.
enjoy it.
I think I might just watch
Enjoy
like
it.
one a week for the rest of my life.
I'm about to say.
I'll be caught
For
up.
the rest of my life.
You're gonna be like
You say-
90 and you're gonna be like halfway
Like,
through
oh my
it.
god, I'm in the second arc.
Yeah.
So great.
It's still gonna be going.
It will go
for sure,
faster
yeah.
if you read it, but
Yeah, I mean I'm caught
I
up on
feel
reading,
like
but it's
watching
funny
it
because like they like One Piece has a lot of because they have like over it's like 1,001 episodes now or something, 1,002 something like that now. But the anime is only like 1,000 or the manga is only 1,000 and some change chapters.
yeah.
So they
They were
almost
starting
the
to
point,
get
let's
to
see.
that like
They're
they're
at
starting to drag it out a little
1,034
now.
as of like yesterday.
Like the anime is dragging
Or
it out.
last
The
week.
anime was getting to like they had a couple moments in the Wano arc where you're like, this feels like it doesn't need to be this long.
Right.
But
they've
it
been
was
dragging
like
stuff
okay,
up.
you
But
could
I mean,
kind of
it's-
tell that it was like
The thing of
okay,
it,
they're kind of
yeah.
close.
Well, that's the thing. It's like
with the
because they're
source
literally
material
they're
right now.
like on the heels of the manga right now. Like,
well, they don't
after they finish the Wano arc, they're gonna have to do a filler arc
That's
to
why,
let the manga get ahead.
That's why you do
Like, they have to.
seasonal. That's why people
Yeah.
have been doing seasonal.
Right.
That's why My Hero was able to stay so close until the villain arc. I don't know why they didn't.
Well, apparently they've been messing it up now because apparently.
But I think it's because they're trying to make it kid friendly or stay kid friendly. Well, so that's one of the things that's been interesting because for some reason, lately, like people have done it before, but lately, people have been asking me a lot about like, can my kid watch that? Can my kid watch this kind of thing? Because anime is becoming a little bit more prevalent in pop culture with like young people.
Right.
And so you're asking me if your 11-year-old can watch certain shows. And I'm kind of like, I mean, like thematically, yes, they could watch this show, but like some of the imagery, some of the fan servicey stuff, parents are super uncomfortable with. And so I'm kind of like, do I just start telling parents your kids can enjoy anime? Like we enjoyed anime when we were kids because they had the super castrated version of all of the animes, and we were fine with that when we were younger
because it was all the censoring.
You know what I mean?
In the United States.
So I'm like,
but like,
well,
that's the thing is like,
because My Hero is trying to like stay on top of like what was actually happening with the manga, but then like they also wanted to make sure that they were honoring that kind of like kids watch this show kind of thing. So I'm like, I don't know.
Everything nowadays has fan service in it. Doesn't even matter what genre it is, really.
Because even that, I'm like, the lewd kid.
Yeah. Chris, what are you reading and watching?
Oh, what am I reading and watching?
Unless you,
I'm done.
Okay,
I'm done.
I've been watching spreadsheets.
Scroll before my eyes.
I've been very, very busy, so I've not done very much. I started trying to like I've been like whenever I can afford to pay to read things, I do pay to read them because I want to like support the artists and stuff.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean pay to read?
So like I forgot what is it, Tappy Tunes? I've been reading some stuff on there, and so you can like buy coins and like read chapters and stuff. You unlock them, whatever.
So it's like a peep show?
What?
For books?
Malcolm?
only books?
Anyway.
Only books.
Come on, bro.
I hate you. No,
I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
I've been reading stuff on there. What else have I been doing? Oh, you know what I have been watching?
What? Sorry.
Well, besides the Ranking of Kings, which everyone needs to watch.
Oh yes, like you brought that up before?
Yes, I have.
That's probably
and I am
It's a show.
fully
What
it's
is it?
anime.
Okay. Ranking
of Kings, and I've been watching My Senpai is Annoying.
Oh, is
but
that
that's 'cause I'm
that one on
trash.
Netflix that has like kind of the
I don't know if it's on Netflix. I've been watching on Funimation.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking of a different one. Never mind.
Funimation? Yeah, I've been watching on Funimation. It's very good, and it's getting even more interesting. And Boji is best boy. I fucking love him. I mean, we're just talking about deaf people in Hawkeye.
Yeah, we were.
Boji is deaf, and he's adorable, and I love him. So Ranking of Kings and JoJo's.
You been watching JoJo's?
Finally
Get on the
got
bus.
past.
Damn.
I
Get on
finally
the
got
bus,
past
Jordan.
part
No,
one.
hell no.
I did it.
I enjoy my life.
I'm victorious.
got
I got
through part
past
one, you
part
said?
one
Yeah.
finally. And I'm just on the beginning of part 2 with Joseph, which I already like better than Jonathan.
He is better than Jonathan.
He is that. I think that's why I thought about the topic, because he will beat anybody's ass. Like
Oh, yeah,
he's ready to fight at any moment.
It doesn't matter who it is either.
And all of those, like, so there's this Caleb City video that's been that keeps floating around me for some reason right now. But it's got but it's got it was when he's talking like when the villain is just as smart as the hero video.
That's a funny video.
Where it's like, well, I knew you were gonna changed the key with the banana. So I put the key in the banana and I stole it before I stole it. And it's like that back and forth thing. And I think he was saying that he like he was watching JoJo's and that's what made him think of this video. And I'm watching part 2. I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. Like
that's Joseph
I understand.
Versus,
because at first you think
villains.
like, well, I guess one like Death Note kind of does that, but it's like it's super heavy-handed, and he's like, "You're gonna say I can't believe this right now. I can't believe." Like I'm like, what is happening?
Oh yeah, what, against the Germans?
Yes.
Hey yo.
Yeah.
That was
So
hilarious.
yeah, I
That
was
was
not
the-
expecting Nazis
That's
and
the
JoJo's. Though,
only
I'm not
part
gonna
about
lie.
JoJo that I liked was Joseph's.
Just keep
Like-
going. You'll start liking more.
Nope.
I'm telling you.
It's-
It's,
myself.
I think the
See,
thing
him
that
be-
I like about it is just it's funny. Like shonen sometimes takes itself too seriously, and so this is a shonen that's just like, fuck y'all. Like you know what I mean? Like it's like this shit's hilarious. We have fucking powers of the sun that fight fucking vampires. Like this is all ridiculous, and it just like it doesn't try to make that like
It's true.
weighty or anything
Right.
like that. It's like we are having fun because it's a cartoon. Like it's like that's what's happening right now, and I think that's why I appreciate part 2 because that's when it starts to become more fun for me. I think
Yeah.
part 1 wasn't fun for me because Jonathan is insufferably
Nah,
annoying.
Terrible.
Yeah, he is.
He's
Terrible.
so annoying.
I'm
So
still
bad.
struggling through it.
Can you
I'm
imagine
like,
if
bro.
that was your dad? Or
They
your grandfather?
kind
You'd
of
be like,
redeem
bruh.
his character a little bit at the end of his situation,
I hope so.
but before then you're just like,
'Cause
Dio,
he's-
fucking kill
yeah.
this kid,
'cause
please.
He's not a road man. I'll tell you that
Yeah.
he's not the guy.
No, not at all. But yes, so I'm on my JoJo's journey. We didn't get to talk about it too much, but I did watch the 1000th episode of One Piece,
Nice.
which was it was more nostalgic than it was awesome. So that was nice. And now they're, back on track with the story and all that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Malcolm.
I don't read. It hurts my eyes.
You don't pay to read either. You don't get
No, I don't
only
pay to
books?
read.
You
No,
ain't-
only
you ain't-
books.
That ain't your bookmark.
No, only books.
Bro,
Sorry.
killing me with that, bro.
Only thing I've been watching, I watched Mugen Train
Ooh.
because
Yeah.
I didn't watch it.
Yeah. Well,
heard
What
Right.
did you think? What did you
No.
think?
No.
Because
It was
you were
pretty
here
good.
when we were talking about
Yeah, it was
it.
pretty
Right.
good. I liked it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I liked it.
Did you agree? Wait, you never made my Thomas the Train edit.
No.
What?
I need
I think
that.
I will. Okay, I
Thank
will.
you.
That was the joke when we did the episode.
Oh.
they were
I
trying
do
to
remember
top
that,
the. Yeah.
Anyway,
just-
Yeah.
sorry.
Anyways, yeah. So I watched that before I watched. Yeah, but I didn't watch
The art.
the season 2 arc of
Yeah.
it. I just started with the
You
first
skipped
episode of it, entertainment.
They include
feel like
some
you're-
stuff in there from the manga that they don't do in the movie.
Oh, okay.
Just little.
Is
things.
is the fight better like they did the Boruto joint?
I don't know.
Oh,
'cause
actually, I
haven't
don't know.
watched
I
it.
didn't watch
I mean, I
all
read
of
it
it
and
like that.
Oh, okay. Because the Boruto fight was good in the movie, but it was like god tier in the
I can't
anime
Yeah,
adaptation.
it was. Oh my god, it was so fucking good.
So, but
Oh, it was so good.
so yeah, I watched the movie before I watched the Entertainment District first episode. So
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about this arc. I don't know that it's my favorite arc of the whole manga, but I do like this arc a lot.
The Entertainment District arc? The
Yeah.
red light arc?
Yeah.
It's not.
So that's all.
Entertainment District is not technically correct.
yeah, I
Right.
think that's all I've been watching. I haven't watched.
They
anything
didn't want to
else.
say it's like it's
Yeah, I
anime.
know.
Maybe we shouldn't say prostitute.
Again, American censorship. Tell it like it is.
Harlot, Lady of the Night.
Lady of the Night.
The Lady of the Nights. Me. Or do you got any more?
No, that's it.
All right, my 2. Black Clover,
Nice.
which has
Yeah.
been very nice to watch.
You
Which also I'm
enjoying
caught
it?
up on the manga. Also
Yeah.
fire.
Yeah.
So what?
Yes, that you're enjoying it. Yes.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'm.
Because
what am
I did not when
Episode
I
8?
first started watching it. at all.
Once you
Oh my
get
God,
past
I
the first
fucking
few
hated it.
episodes of how fucking annoying Asta is,
Yeah,
you're
then he
good.
becomes
Then you're
endearing.
good.
But you got to get past.
Yeah, you got to get past that first part. The
you're
marry
like,
me
why
sister
is he
part.
so
you
loud?
gotta
No,
get past
I
that.
had to get past
You gotta get
the
past
stuff with the black bulls too. I fucking hated
Really?
all of them.
Well, I think the problem is that they have
They become
too
a squad
big
later.
of personalities. All of
too
us
much
is
at
too
once.
dynamic. It's like,
Yeah.
all
That's
right,
the point. Like they're
Yeah.
all over the top
Yeah.
because
Right.
that's why they're in that squad. Like,
right. But when you first watch it, you're like, why does everybody have something going on? And what's up with this dude and his little sister? It's creepy. But I think
oh
it's,
yeah,
I didn't like
Yeah,
Yuno
sorry.
at first either.
Yeah,
I didn't get him. But then
Yuno's
again,
a badass now.
I understand he's pretty much. Yeah, I haven't watched
I
enough.
don't think I like Yuno until after the elf arc, honestly.
Okay.
Oh really?
Everybody else I kind of grew on me, but Yuno I didn't like until the
He's got
elf
like
arc.
that.
Maybe during the elf arc.
Trying to
but it was
think.
the
He's
elf
got
arc.
he's got a mixture of like a Sasuke vibe mixed with kind of like a, I don't know, like kind of like a I'm too cool for school kind of a vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of
He's not quite as
a lot of
depressive
his
as
relationship
Sasuke
with
is, right?
Asta did not make sense to me in the very first part of the whole story until the elf arc. And they
Yeah.
start fleshing him out a little bit more. And then I was like, oh, okay, I get it now.
Yeah.
Well, where they're at now in the manga, like where you like know exactly because you figure out both who
Yeah.
their parents are,
Oh,
both
yeah,
Asta and Yuno's parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Yuno's story is crazy.
Yeah.
Like Asta's story is good. Yuno's like backstory is crazy.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
so good.
So I can't wait to.
Asta's backstory is so sad to me.
Yeah.
You said whose?
Asta's
Oh, yeah.
backstory is very sad.
Yeah, I can't wait to catch up on
It's
that.
One Piece sad.
And also watch. Well, I'll skip over that. I'm watching Hawkeye for sure.
Hmm.
Enjoying it. Also watching Fire Force.
Nice.
Two episodes
Yes,
in.
me
as
too.
of
Okay.
yesterday.
Oh,
Very
two
nice.
episodes.
Well, I had to clear my palate from like the Cowboy Bebop stuff. So I'm like, okay, I have to
Fire
figure
Force is a
out.
good one for that. It's good. It's got good
Yeah.
humor. It's got good
Yeah.
action. It's a good story.
Man.
Yeah,
It's great.
I'm looking forward to it. It's definitely
I just sorry, I don't mean
No,
to
you
I
good.
just saw the episode where Vicious or no, not Vicious.
Wow.
I'm talking about
Traumatized.
Assault is trying to beat the accidentally lewd girl.
Oh,
like that's
yeah.
his
Oh.
mission, the assassin.
Right.
That
Wait, so
episode
then
is
that
so
means
funny.
that you've met the black guy now, right?
Yeah, he's great. You talking about Karen or whatever his,
No,
his name is?
yeah, he's one of the white clad.
Yeah, the guard.
Yeah.
The one that can reflect damage.
Yeah.
He's dope. He's great.
He's OP as
Um,
fuck.
he
I
is,
love him.
for no reason.
Anyway,
Great black character.
they do black people very well in Fire
They
Force.
do,
You
yeah.
will learn.
Yeah,
I
Ogun
look
is
forward to it.
also dope. The guy from the squad that rides on the fire
Oh
skateboard.
yeah.
Fire.
Yeah, with all his
Literally.
little fire tattoos and
Yeah,
shit.
he's dope.
yeah. I like the vibe of the show. Seems unique. Great backstory for the
it's fun.
protagonist so far.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I look forward to kind of I don't know. I'm trying to start. You can only do so many animes at once.
Yeah, that's true.
So like I'm
It's
trying
hard.
to figure
It's
out.
tough.
All right, should I start taking a couple of these in manga, or will I have time between all my other books and stuff like that?
Have you been like dipping your toe in a manga? Not yet.
Not as much as I'd like to.
Yeah.
I ideally I like to do it on a frequent basis where it's like, 15 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day or whatnot. So it's not, I'm not lagging behind in certain ones and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
that way I gotta just, I think video requires you to sit down, watch 20 to 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Whereas like you can get through a manga chapter in like almost no time, depending on how
Yeah.
fast you
Yeah,
read.
usually it
So,
takes me like 2 to 5 minutes,
yeah.
depending.
Man. Oh, I'm caught up on Spy Family and Kaiju number 8 too.
Oh
I
yeah,
think.
Kaiju number 8's real good right now.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Dude, where they left off in his last chapter, I was so mad. I was like, bruh.
Listen, Kaiju
Yeah.
number 8 with those cliffhangers, and they
Yeah.
only come out like every other week.
Every other
anyway.
week, bruh. That's like, yeah, it's every
They'd
other
be
Sunday.
like,
Come on, dude.
Like we
Killing
hate
me.
y'all.
Killing me, Smalls.
Making the money's worth.
Right.
True. Gotta keep
Oh, their
people-
first
gotta
volume's
keep people
finally
waiting.
out.
Oh, is it?
They have enough for their first
Because they have
hard
what,
copy
52 chapters
volume
right now,
now.
I think.
something like that.
Yo, that's lit.
Fire.
Now
Fire.
I was just watching a Soldier Boy interview earlier, so This the kind of energy I'm gonna be on right now. Now,
I'm the greatest ever. Energy.
no, all I'm saying is, so we came in here, we talked about Cowboy Bebop, and we
Tell them.
we posted it. We posted a clip on I think our Instagram.
Yeah.
Some people supporting, some people not supporting what we were talking about.
Hey, did you see the hot take in there?
Which
Which I
one?
take.
And somebody said Death Note greater than Cowboy Bebop.
What?
Like live
Oh, I
action.
missed that.
All right.
Let's-
Because of
that's a
Lakeith
stretch.
Stanfield and Willem Dafoe. We
They
did
put
get
Lakeith
corrected
Stanfield in
that
that?
we said William
Bruh.
Dafoe and not Willem Dafoe too in our
Okay,
comments.
first of all, the fact
Can
that they put Lakeith on that
I
list
said-
of people that did well is
I was
already,
like, oh, that's hot. That's a hot take.
That's a very
Can
hot
I,
take.
I was
can
like,
I,
that's
Whoever you are,
spicy.
sir, we disagree with you.
all right, so
Right.
Respectfully.
Respectfully, we disagree.
First, I'm gonna say this. First of all,
I like Lakeith Stanfield.
and
just
we gonna
not
get
in that
into
show.
we gonna get into all of this
Watch
actually.
him in Sorry
And
to
just so
Bother
y'all
Me.
know, as of today, the
Like a
news
few
is
hours
in.
ago,
just
right.
a few hours ago.
We did that.
Cowboy
Crying.
Bebop
We did
is
not.
canceled.
We
It is
did
not coming back for another season at all because it
Discount
was
that shit.
so bad.
It was
And-
so bad.
And
We
y'all
steering the boat.
and y'all
Yeah,
look,
that's right.
and I'm in a couple of groups.
I hate
Everybody
y'all.
talking about,
I
oh,
hate
you know,
y'all.
it wasn't that bad. It's
It was
fine.
terrible.
It's cool.
But what we said,
That's
what
what
we
I'm-
said.
And look,
we got
man.
that. We
look,
gotta cancel
matter
it.
of fact, before we get to these comments, let me read this article. This is from the Hollywood Reporter. So this ain't like no foo-foo publication.
I mean,
This
it probably
legit.
is, but
I mean,
No,
they
it's a
do
legit
they
one.
do actually
They
cool
do the
stuff.
Oscars.
Oh, okay.
they-
Yeah,
every
and they do
year.
like sit downs with actors and
Oscar
actresses.
spreads.
If
I
you go on their
love
YouTube,
those
they are
spreads.
really cool YouTube. Anyways, let me read this. Cowboy Bebop canceled by Netflix after one season. I like how they start this article. That was fast.
that was literally like it's only been out for like 3 weeks.
They said we're gonna do
4 weeks.
season 2, and they were like, never mind.
Right. Netflix has canceled its ambitious, wildly hyped, and ultimately wildly disappointing anime adaptation, Cowboy Bebop. The move comes less than 3 weeks after the show's debuted on November 19th. This is great. I love the numbers and the facts. The space western had a rough reception. The 10-episode series garnered only a 46% positive critics rating on review aggregator Rotten Tomatoes. Now, we don't agree with critics all the time, except for in this case. Fans seem to agree, giving the show a 56% positive audience score on the site. Do y'all know how much the anime got?
Probably like 80.
It's like over 90%.
well,
It's
it
like,
gotta
yeah.
be in the 90s.
I was gonna say, I
high.
think it's in the top 10.
Yep,
on
of all
this,
time.
Yeah, of all time.
Well,
on
yeah,
Rotten
because it's a
Tomatoes
great
or
anime.
something.
It's like literally,
On
it's one of the
something,
best.
I can't remember.
According to the Netflix top 10 site, the series has racked up almost 74 million viewing hours. So it got plenty of sampling out of the gate, but it plummeted 59% for the first week.
When our episode came out.
Yeah, right.
Stop
Well,
it.
I mean,
I'm
you
gonna
think
read
about
this.
it.
I'm gonna
it's-
read. Oh my bad. I'm
Sorry,
gonna
I
read
was
one
gonna
more.
say because of what you said. It's because of people like us that talked about it in such a poor light
Yeah.
that a lot of people are not either watching it or not finishing. Because we were talking to Cooper on the pre-pod before the meeting, and he watched like the first 2 episodes and couldn't get through it. So like a lot of people just hated it so much they either started it and never finished it, or didn't start it at all because of the reviews from other anime heads were so bad.
I think that part of the problem is that it's like, not only did you change a beloved story, like you took something that people love and you hated it, so you changed it.
Right.
And it is what it is. But you took a beloved story and then you changed it and you didn't make it a better story.
Yeah.
Like it would have been different if it like
They
you
took out-
changed
yeah,
it and you
right.
made it like a better story, because they were trying to do a bunch of different things, but then they were trying to still like get that, but we're an adaptation kind of money too.
Yeah.
I was telling, who was I telling? I think Malcolm, I might have mentioned this in Discord too. The reason why I love like stuff like live adaptations and animes and mangas and like the different, mediums telling the same story essentially, is because each medium has something really interesting and unique to bring to any specific story.
Yeah.
So there's stuff you can do in live adaptations of a story that you can't do in an anime, and there's stuff in an anime that you can't do in a manga, and like vice versa for all three of those. So it's like, it would have been nice if they, instead of kind of butchering the story and like doing kind of a piecemeal thing, that it had just been like, okay, we have the opportunity to tell this with like a different gaze or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, let's tell this story from the viewpoint of a camera lens, like with live actors. And so you do have to base it more in like a little bit more realism, because people physically can't do certain things that they might be able to do in anime. But you get to play with a lot of like the lighting, and you get to play with like the angles that you choose, and you get to play with kind of your pacing. And there's so much stuff you can play with like live film that they do a little bit of with the odd angles all the time. But like there's stuff like that you can play with that would have been helped enhance the story that's being told, but they didn't do that.
Oh, so I'm a
Sorry, I didn't mean to stopped you from
No, you
reading
good.
it.
Because the only thing I was going to bring up the fact that this article continues to talk about other ones that other shows that kind of, or movies that follow the same pattern. And obviously, it brings up Dragon Ball Evolution,
which you never watched.
Right, Ghost in the Shell. That's from 2017. And Death
Note. About the
Note.
Scarlett Johansson one?
Yeah.
Again, never watched.
I never watched the adaptation. I heard
Yeah.
it actually
I had
wasn't
never watched
terrible.
the anime.
It wasn't
honestly.
terrible.
Oh, you watched that ScarJo movie, huh?
Because it's Ghost in the Shell. But because it's Ghost in the Shell. Black Widow, Ghost in the Shell. Come on. Anyways.
I mean,
I did want to, so I wanted to read this comment. I can't find it on like our original post. So I'm not sure why, but I do have a
your top
screenshot.
comments on.
And I want to address it because I think this is kind of the sentiment behind a lot of people who like it. And so, everybody got their own opinion. This isn't the show to say don't have an opinion, but you can be wrong. But so I'm gonna read this. This is
funny.
Shout out to Rich_ACM on Instagram. Appreciate you. And then there's another person too who's I'm gonna read, which is right under it. He says people need to chill. It wasn't bad. The ending could have been slightly better and made character. But the style, look, and feel is awesome. This is one of the best live action animes within the last decade. The anime only had one season. They only had one season of material to go off on. And then somebody else said, this is JetLife_G's on Instagram. None of the shows are even related. Can't prejudge what One Piece can be with no info at all. LOL.
That was a direct comment to what I said in our
Yeah.
clip. Because
Hello.
I said
Now,
that because of what
with
they
the
did,
first one-
they can't get One
Let
Piece
me
right.
hold
No,
on.
go ahead.
The problem with both of these, one, there's a multitude of evidence. There's too much evidence. So the problem is that Netflix, for the longest, across genres, we're just seeing it in anime. And this is why, like, somebody put the comment. They said, "Hey, they're putting Game of Thrones money to One Piece."
One Piece, right?
Money isn't the issue.
No,
it's not. Well,
He also said that the director's a fan of the show.
Well, it was Netflix problem for the longest, and this is how they struggled in the streaming wars thing. But with HBO Max, with now Peacock, they just need to not be a thing. But Hulu and Disney Plus is the only thing that Netflix can do to go against them is make more content. They can't make as good a content. They don't have the Marvel, Star Wars, and all of the Disney things that Disney Plus has. They don't have all of TV like Hulu has, and so they have to keep making. So no matter how much money they pour into things, they're not gonna spend time on it. Mm-hmm. And that's the problem, because what you give. I mean, look, should Cowboy Bebop been canceled after one season? For sure. I'm not here to argue for that.
Yeah.
But there have been other shows that they've had on Netflix, lot of good ones that they've canceled that because they have this I think it's this 3 to 4 week window where if numbers don't hit like they're supposed to hit within 3 to 4 weeks,
Yeah, they
even though they
cut their
spent
losses.
millions of dollars on this
Right.
anime or these
I mean,
shows.
they probably made back almost what they put into the show, I would imagine, but they're not making a profit on it.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
but that's
what
that's
they're going for,
that's
right.
Netflix overall problem. That's how
Right.
they treat a majority of their shows, and that's why you have 5% good Netflix material,
Content,
like
right.
content, and 95% of
right.
I'm
filler.
gonna comment on the first comment.
Yeah,
He talks like he didn't watch the anime.
yeah,
Like he just knows it was only one season.
Yeah.
Because they did everything that they did in the anime.
right.
They
Like the
wrapped,
story-
they
the-
wrapped the story in one season.
They hit like, oh, this is from this episode,
Right,
And it was all jumbled together. So the material, source material, was not the problem.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
It's not what they went off
even
from.
if they, because even on the episode, so if you're watching this, watch the whole review, because
Yeah.
we mentioned they could have did what they did. If they would have done it well, it would have worked.
Yeah.
They just did what they did badly.
yeah,
So along with not being the anime, which you can't be anyway,
Yeah.
what they decided to do, they did badly.
yeah,
So
yeah.
Well, that
I
was
didn't mean to cut you off, Chris. Sorry.
No,
my bad.
you're fine.
cut off. Slurp.
No, because like I cut it off to my bad.
No.
Yeah, I ain't want
The,
to.
What to say? You say something?
Shut up, Malcolm. Well, on the first guy's comment too, I was like, he's not wrong about it being one of the better
right. I agree with that too.
adaptations
Yeah,
in the
for
last
sure.
couple of years. It for sure is. Does that make it good?
No.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
But when we
everything is
commented
bad,
to him,
the
we
bar
were
is pretty
we were
low.
like cannot disagree that it's one of the better
Yeah.
adaptations that have
Yeah.
been done. For sure. Especially when you're talking about properties like that. No,
Yes.
live adaptations historically are awful.
What?
But I think the biggest thing, and I think it's like, maybe it's like a marketing thing. So we follow Netflix Geeked
yeah,
on Instagram. And so they kept, on their promos, they kept doing shot-to-shot comparisons with the original anime. Look at Jet clipping his bonsais or Faye and her
Right.
ship. And it set this kind of tone that like, look how look how much they look and seem exactly like the show that you love.
yeah.
But then they didn't do, you know what I mean? They didn't do the story that everybody loves. And so
Yeah.
it was this like really like deceiving almost kind of thing where it's like, yes, everybody looks accurate and you do a couple of shots that look the exact same, but you weren't telling the same story and you weren't
It's like-
creating the same
It's like
characters.
wanting a Big
It-
Mac after seeing the McDonald's commercial, but
Yeah,
then they
it-
put just a pile of ingredients in your
just-
box.
it was, and I don't mean to like. It was expensive cosplay. Like it wasn't
Not
actually.
expensive cosplay.
You know what I'm saying though. But like
God.
y'all tried to get the look right, but y'all didn't care about getting the story
dying.
right. Like
That's true. Because it looked good.
it looked good.
It looked good.
great.
That was the best
Even
part
that
about
when
it.
he was talking about the style and stuff of it,
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I mean, if they weren't supposed to be telling a story about poor people, it looks great. Like, I'm like, yeah, I mean, it does. Like the style and aesthetic, it was
Yeah.
very American futuristic type of show. It played
Right.
into that a lot of what we think about our very
Yeah,
back
it,
to the future-esque type of
You know what it
whatever.
felt like? Now that I think about it, now that we have some time away from it. What's this movie with Bruce Willis and Chris Tucker?
Wow, Fifth Element.
It felt like that a little bit.
Oh wow, I don't know
It
if you're
felt like
wrong.
some of those elements in there, how they produced it, felt like that. It had like all the outler worldly stuff. Only thing they didn't have was like the alien stuff that Fifth Element has. But it felt like
Could've did with
that.
some aliens.
But I mean, the difference is, I mean, and I'm not sure I'm not sure if Fifth Element had much of a story, but it was their own story. I think that's the one thing with this whole look, man. I'll talk to that One Piece comment on the second comment.
Oh, don't let me get on started on this.
The problem. So I'll close at that point. I don't want to like be all over the place, but
Yeah.
one, I think that if they told their own story, if you would have you didn't have to. even if it was like, it was a spinoff, it was like Spike's New Adventure or something like that, I think I would have respected that a lot. Because then now you're trying to develop, because what was going on with those characters, it's almost like they tried to develop them from the anime into the movie that was supposed to be based off the anime, which is kind of weird. Like if you like 10 years in the future, Faye's like a mom and Spike is, I don't know, doing whatever Spike is doing. He's alive, and somehow somebody pops up, and then they have what they had in the show. I wouldn't have been as mad. Like the departure from the original character, what we talked about, motivations that we talked about last week. But as far as that One Piece point, man,
I will say that One Piece is one of those, like, it's almost like with Dragon Ball Z, that is one of those, like, you shouldn't really do a live action for. Maybe Attack on Titan, if we get a little bit further into the future, you throw a lot of money at...
I mean, they technically did one.
I know they're
bad,
but...
They're real bad. I've watched them. Yeah, there's like 3. They're bad.
It's the same with, like, Bleach, right? Where it's like, maybe in the future when, like, technology's a little bit more advanced and they have more extra money for
their live
around.
action wasn't terrible.
The Bleach live action, honestly, to this day is the only one that I didn't cringe watching. Honestly.
You know what?
Nobody liked the lead of Battle Angel.
I haven't seen that.
No, that was alright. That was alright.
That was great.
That was.
See, I haven't seen that one, but I've heard that one's really good.
Yeah.
But no, Bleach's live action, honestly, I actually enjoyed. Like I would watch it again.
I heard it wasn't bad.
Yeah,
my
it wasn't
whole
like
thing is
amazing, but like that's the thing is like it took a very small portion of story.
Yeah, we go.
And
exact
it
opposite
focused
approach.
just on that portion of the story.
Yeah.
So it was like the very beginning where he like first gets his Zanpakuto. He fights Kingfisher, who's like the hollow that killed his mom.
Yeah, we don't even
just that portion.
We don't even meet his other friends.
No.
We don't meet Chad. We don't meet Oda.
Nope.
Like they
kept the story.
It looks like that's what they're gonna do with One Piece. Is that they're only gonna tell the more realistic part. Like they'll probably only hit the beat with probably like Usopp's story. And they'll probably tell Sanji's story.
Well, what I'm guessing what they'll do is they'll tell the story up until where the crew has assembled, like the first 5 members. So like Sanji, Zoro, Nami, and Chopper. Probably.
Those are more grounded, and the characters aren't designed as nonsensical. But when you start moving on further into the story, the characters look insane.
Yeah.
And the type of things that they have to be able to do with their bodies are insane. You would have to spend so much money just doing effects on everyone all the time.
Every scene, like literally.
For every scene. Like imagine what are they gonna do? What are they gonna do with Luffy?
Right, he's rubber. Like
like
the only time
that's the only thing I think I worry about. Even with Game of Thrones,
that is like Fantastic Four, whether you know with Mr. That's the only rubber character I can think of.
Yeah,
because we know it's not Kamala Khan anymore.
That's funny.
It's the problem too is this One Piece is one of those stories, from what I know, but like it's one of those stories. It's gonna take time to develop. You won't be able to just shoot one season. And that's the thing with this Cowboy Bebop thing is. Who did y'all think was gonna watch the show
when you changed it that much?
You know what I'm saying? But also, like your original draws, anime fans,
right?
Those shot for shot things are for the anime watchers.
Like, look how accurate this is. And then we're watching it's not accurate.
Yeah, and it's the same. I think, and that's my concern with One Piece is, one, are you like baiting and switching as well? And two, if it is good, and if it receives low ratings, are you going to allow the time for it to develop?
Yeah,
they're gonna change it so Nami's the king of the pirates.
Yeah, right. See, my thing.
Don't say that.
Don't say that. My thing is like if you're gonna do an adaptation,
let it be an actual adaptation.
Don't change the source material because you know when I think of to this day my favorite adaptation and it's from a book is Lord of the Rings. Did they take a little bit of creative liberties in some? Sure, there's things in the movies that aren't exactly how they played out in the books. Because obviously you can't not everything can go from a book to a screen. Not everything.
People
But-
didn't even hate the beginning of Game of Thrones because the beginning
Yeah, I
of
never
Game of
watched that.
Thrones isn't
That's
accurate to book,
right.
Yeah.
but it's still told a really good story.
But
Yeah.
but that's the thing is like, but those movies are still, even 20 years on, are still some of, if not the best book to movie adaptation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they were like, here's an amazing story that
Yeah.
everyone who read it liked. Let's not change anything and just put that on the screen.
Yeah.
And that's
If they would have done that with Cowboy Bebop, it would have been infinitely better.
that.
Like
and-
even with the current, even if they didn't change any of the cast members, because I didn't honestly think the casting was all that bad.
right.
The story was what made the casting poor.
Yeah.
Like Vicious's character did not look bad. He was bad because of his story. I felt like if
Vicious was
No,
the
no,
only
no.
one that I
Let me-
thought looked bad.
let me finish my thought here. I didn't think Vicious's character looked bad. I felt like his personality, his crybaby attitude, and like how they portrayed him
Yeah, that British
I get-
accent
I
ain't
get
help
what you're
either.
saying.
soured your opinion.
Like if
of
it was
the
a
character.
good performance.
Yeah, because
that
I
would've-
felt like the actor himself gave his heart and soul for that performance. He just was written poorly.
Yeah.
he was
So
really,
I felt
really
like
bad.
because he's not a bad actor at
he's
all.
not a
No,
bad
No,
he's
actor.
he
not
what
at
is he?
all.
What else
Wow,
is he
that's
in?
why I was
Hold on.
like, well, maybe
if
they'll
that
work it out.
character would have been written correctly as Vicious is in the show, I feel like he would have knocked it out the park.
I feel
Like-
like, well, I think part of it though too is like when I'm watching the anime though, Vicious is one of those like he kind of cute kind of thing. I did not get that from this Vicious at all.
Okay, I understand that.
But I think
Because he likes psychopaths.
I do.
Well, I mean,
Um,
Ahsoka's your favorite character.
No, it's like you.
that's why he's behind me.
Yeah, right.
But I don't know. I think that was what the deceiving part was they touted all this marketing,
Yeah.
convincing us how accurate it was going to be based
Yeah.
off of the anime. Look how much this looks just like the anime.
Yeah.
Watch it, and then you watch it, and it's nothing like the anime.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And-
that's why I'm not excited for One Piece because
Yeah,
I
I
that's
feel
should
my
like
say
point.
nothing like the
because I
anime, but
feel like
it kind of
they're
felt
gonna
that way.
even if so when he was talking about where they're throwing mad money behind it and the people who are producing the show are One Piece fans. It's still a Netflix property that's being overseen by Netflix,
Yeah.
who has overseen catastrophic live
Yeah.
actions.
and
And-
other adaptations that are
Right.
not live actions as well,
Right.
which is
So,
we gotta
my
a whole
thing
list.
is
That whole list.
with whoever's in charge
Although they
of
did do good
adaptations
with
at
Orange is the
Netflix.
New Black.
Yeah, I didn't watch it either.
but that's different.
So whoever is in charge of
Yeah.
making directive, creative decisions
Yeah.
needs to be fired because
No, but they've been doing good with their anime content.
They've
but
been
the
doing
live
good with
stuff
their
has
an-
not been good.
But the anime content,
Those are different people. I guarantee.
Yeah,
you
and the
it's different
anime
people.
content, and I mean, it pretty much has to just work. Like
Yeah.
it's almost as if they're treating the live action like it's.
But what Alice in Borderlands wasn't bad.
Well, no, it wasn't. But Alice in Borderlands is again. That's like, I think that they're banking on different things for different
Yeah,
genres,
and it's a different
groups.
audience too.
Yeah,
like-
that's a different. That's like
Maybe for
People-
them, they're thinking, "Oh, shown it just for kids," and then they were like, "Let's make."
they
a
don't.
kids
That's
show.
the thing. I don't think they know who Cowboy Bebop was supposed to be for.
Yeah, because
Like when they finished it, I don't think. I think they thought,
Yeah.
oh, we did all of
Yeah,
this
because
stuff.
Cowboy Bebop only came on in the 10 o'clock block, didn't it?
Yeah, it was only
For-
late
yeah.
and
late on Toonami.
right.
Because they did 2 blocks. They did
Right.
the after school block and then
But was it on the after school block? Cowboy Bebop?
I don't remember it being.
I don't remember it
after.
being. I remember
hope
Outlaw
not.
Star being on there. But
Y'all poor parents.
Your,
Yeah,
your
I
dad
mean-
rented me Akira, so
I'm crying. He probably did not know what he's like.
Let's,
Oh, it's like
cartoons.
it's cartoon.
let's
Get that
let's
for-
move on.
Yeah, because we could talk about this all day.
Yes, let's talk about. Well, I guess just first reaction. So Mega Man is coming
I don't need it.
to Netflix.
I don't think anybody needs
live
it.
action.
Who
let me.
wants it?
I'm gonna read just his first bit, I guess. The Mega Man live action movie has been in development for years. Finally looks like to see a light of day, as the film is currently in active development. I don't know what that means. Details include Henry Joost, Ariel Schulman, known for Paranormal Activity franchise, are directing the adaptation of the popular video game franchise for Cap
A horror director.
The Mattson Tomlin is writing the script, who co-wrote the Batman, and Masi Oka, known for Heroes, I like that show,
That's a good
is
show.
attached as the lead producer, who is also producing Akira, Attack on Titan, and Live, Die, and Repeat.
Wait, they're gonna do Attack on Titan?
What?
It looks like they're gonna be working on that. I don't think that's Netflix though,
Sweet
but
Jesus.
they look like they're working on that as well. So that's all I'll
Did
read.
they say Live, Die,
Akira
Repeat too?
might
Like
be
ReZero?
cool.
Live, Die, and Repeat.
Or is that different?
I think this
That's
might
not.
be different.
That can't be ReZero.
Because
Don't
that
do- don't
live
do
action.
that.
Oh God.
No, don't do that.
Wow.
Don't
Can
do
you
that.
imagine that scene where he gets eaten by the rabbits alive in
No.
live action?
Don't
Actually,
do
that would be live action would be scary. It'd be
That
real.
would be a
I
horror
mean,
film.
That
Yeah,
would
that would
be
be
a
a horror
horror.
series.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
for
was
sure.
a paranormal
100%.
activity
Yeah.
director.
without
which
a doubt.
excites.
but anyways, so how do we feel about
Next topic. Next.
I mean, from somebody who played Mega Man when I was young, like not religiously, like Cooper will have much more strong opinions about it because he's a huge Mega Man fan.
Yeah.
He'll have much more strong opinions than I will. But I mean, I enjoyed Mega Man as a kid. I don't care. Like, I feel like Mega Man fans wanted a new game, not a new show.
Yeah.
You know what happened? Because we just saw the Sonic 2
Yeah.
trailer,
Yeah.
which looks amazing.
Because I was gonna say I would have had
They
the
probably-
same reaction
they
with
probably
Sonic.
jumped
Like,
on the
I don't
Smash
need
universe.
that.
They probably
but then I
jumped
was
on the
like, oh,
Sonic
fucking-
bandwagon, like, hey, this
Probably.
video
I
game
wouldn't be
thing
surprised.
did
So, let me-
good.
Speaking of the season
okay.
2 trailer for Sonic looks really good.
Amazing.
And I
It
was
looks
like,
really
I was
good.
excited about
Alright,
Idris
I gotta
Elba,
watch it,
but
yeah.
then also like kind of like, I don't know.
See, Idris Elba
but
as
even
Knuckles
just
is-
seeing that little clip, I
Makes
was like,
sense.
that I
Because
like it.
Knuckles is my
I
favorite
like
character,
it.
and Idris Elba
I
is
didn't
the
even
boss.
like the first one like that, and I'm excited to see the second
See,
one.
I loved the first movie actually. Like,
Yeah.
I thought
it was
which is
okay.
great because the first Sonic movie was a fantastic example of if you listen to your fans
Yeah.
who are going to be your money makers.
His eyes were really weird.
They were bad. That first Sonic design was something
Yeah.
from the
It
pits
was
of hell.
Sonic
horror.
was-
It was
Like
horrible.
whoever thought that was a great idea.
See, and that's,
probably got
but
fired.
the thing is, I think that's the where most of the errors comes. Like, why are you trying to make this
Yeah.
realistic?
Make it.
Well, that's the
what
Lion King
people
issue,
want.
right? Like that's
Yeah.
like
oh my
why,
god!
why
it
is
looks
this National
amazing.
Geographic?
Yeah, right.
Like what's going
I'm
on?
like, you can see the veins in the lion's
Yeah.
stomach.
no, I don't need to
Right.
see Pumbaa's
Simba's
actual
not crying.
anatomy. Like this is
That's
what
funny.
Simba is crying
Yeah.
and not
yeah,
crying.
but no,
But yeah, so like, so that's the thing is like, I don't think, I don't know. I don't think it's
I
really.
just don't know what the story's supposed to be for Mega. Is this like Kid RoboCop? Like what is? How are they gonna translate this?
Not Kid
Well, like what's
I
the?
mean, it kind of is.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
like
a
how?
little bit.
That's what I'm saying. What's the story like? What is?
I don't
because
honestly
Mega Man
remember.
doesn't have like a kind of a story in the game. Not a whole
I
story.
mean, he does. I mean, there's a linear story through the games.
Yeah, but it's not that deep.
But it's one of those things where it was like it's a side scroller, so it's more about like the actual action,
Right,
than it is about
exactly.
the story.
Mhm.
Right.
It's more about the gameplay,
Which
So,
I
like,
appreciate.
games
I like the
that,
game.
where it's like it's.
Did
it's
it ever have a
niche, you know, like-
cartoon?
Yeah.
I feel like it did.
Yeah,
I was
it
gonna
did.
say
In
I
the
thought it had a
90s.
cartoon
Yeah.
Yeah.
too. So
That I
maybe they'll
remember.
do more like
Something like that.
the Sonic thing and do more
Sure.
I like
do a
game.
more
See, the thing
cartoon
about that is,
adaptation than
too,
a
is,
game
like,
adaptation.
Because it's a video game, you have a lot more room for that creative
Yeah.
process that we didn't like that they did with Cowboy Bebop. Because of the fact that it's like, okay, well, you have a story that's not necessarily like a point A to point B
Right.
linear
Yeah.
story where like
and
you
a
have a lot
cartoon
of
that
room.
probably nobody watched.
Like you have a lot
Right.
of, yeah, right. You have a lot of room for interpretation. You have a lot of room for, for like fleshing it out. Because it's literally it's a side scroller.
You guys really don't remember? Well, no, that was Sonic. Never mind. I'm thinking of Sonic.
I remember
Yeah,
the
Mega
Sonic
Man
show.
was-
Yeah, I don't remember this.
So
I don't
funny.
remember. I don't remember the Mega Man cartoon. But like, I feel like
I'm trying to remember
so here's
what
my
it
thing:
came out on.
is the movie going to do? Is it going to be good? I think it has potential to be good.
Yeah.
If they mess it up, will it be worse that they did it? Yes, for sure. Like,
Yeah. That man, there we go. We'll see. That's again, and that's why when people say stuff like, man, like you got to give it a chance, yo. Like my thing, if your shooting percentage is extremely low, and then I got to give you the get like the game winner,
rock.
like I
Nah.
got to choose to give you the game winner.
Nah.
And that's Netflix. But anyways, let's move on to our next topic, which is polygamy.
that's why I remember the cartoon that came out in '94.
Oh,
Makes sense.
4 years old.
All right.
Wasn't watching Mega Man back then.
I don't have the article on here actually,
Which
but
one?
let's talk about polygamy and Demon Slayer.
So for those that were like, polygamy, what? So when season 2 of Demon Slayer dropped, what was it, this week? Last week?
Yep.
2 things stuck out. One was the fact that one of the pillars, whose name I forget, he's the ninja dude. He's got 3 wives, so obviously he's in a polygamous relationship.
Yeah.
People are freaking out about that. Outside the black community, people are freaking out about that because the black folks are like, yeah, we've been on that. And the second thing that's drawing headlines is that the title for the English in English is Entertainment District. That's not what the Japanese title is. The Japanese title is a lot closer to, I don't know the direct translation, but it's a lot closer to like Red Light District, which obviously has very different connotations in the Entertainment District.
I can't say that, can I? We're going to get
we're going to get canceled. Don't get us canceled. So that's one thing is like, okay, well, like that's what you're talking about with trying to keep things kid friendly. Like Demon Slayer is not a kid friendly anime. Like
it ain't.
If they
it ain't
did
for you
it,
kids.
if they did the story in its full justice, Demon Slayer is not a kid friendly.
Well, and
anime.
they do
hold
in the
on,
first
let me-
season.
let me-
They do.
Yeah.
Let me revisit the obvious
I
question,
still
but
feel
that's
like
really
it's a
big
kid's
deal.
story, but it's just really, really gory.
Well, because I mean, it gets into a lot of because with the Red Light District, you get into like prostitution. And,
Yeah,
like, all
so
these
Yeah.
different
that's
things.
I
Like,
guess that's my
well,
question.
but I mean,
Should we
One
be
Piece
freaking
does
out?
that.
Should we be freaking out about the polygamous relationships?
No.
Demon Slayer.
It's a
Is this big
cartoon.
deal?
yeah, right.
No.
Who cares?
It's a cartoon.
The Mormons been doing it forever. They still do it.
I'm crying. I'm crying.
Hashtag sister wife.
Hashtag sister wives. No,
Yeah.
it's that's the thing. It's like when white people do it, they get away with it.
Wow.
That's, I think
That's
I don't know if I've. Don't get me wrong. I like watching, animes where my protagonists have really strong morals and stuff like that. My protagonists, but I never needed the show to like match.
But that's
my-
the thing too. Is like,
you know
when
what I
think
mean?
about
Like-
it, like when you introduce elements like that, like those things exist. Like polygamous relationships
Yeah.
exist in real life. Like whether we know it or not, we probably all have interacted with
It's just
somebody at
people
some
that
point.
don't want to talk to their children.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
right. Or people that just don't want to be married to
He's
one
got
person.
more than
Right.
one wife.
Yeah,
And
so,
be like,
I
well,
mean, you think
honey,
about it, like-
sometimes
And that's what we've talked about in
you
the
love
past.
more than one person.
Right. That's what we've talked about in the past about anime being a critique of real life issues.
Yeah.
Like and how like anime authors are very intentional about discussing real world issues
Right.
in the form of animation.
Yeah, every
like-
author has something to
Yeah.
say.
So
yeah,
like,
but I haven't
Even if
read
they say
the manga,
laugh.
so I feel like it's probably not even that big of a deal
it's not a
It's
big
not a
deal
to the
big
story
deal.
at all. He just
And
happens to
when
have
he
more than one
announces
wife.
it initially, everybody's
Yeah,
kind
they're
of
like,
like, "You got what?"
Yeah.
And he'd be like,
but
"Yeah,
then they forget
my
about
wife."
it like just that quick.
and he'd be like, "Oh," and then it
Because
just is.
and that's the
It's
thing,
part
like,
of him.
Yeah.
It's
His
who he
wives
is.
play like a very minuscule part in
Yeah.
that arc, and then like you like don't see them again. Like
Yeah.
so they're such a small part of the anime that like people are freaking out about the wrong stuff.
Yeah.
I don't understand why. First of all, if I'm assuming it's because they're worried about kids. If a cartoon can influence your kids that much,
Right.
You're
that's
not
a
doing
problem
your
in and
job.
of itself.
Like have people been watching indie cartoons
Right.
nowadays? Like
Man.
because they're like
Right.
they're all
Well, and I was
Right.
gonna say, I mean, I go back and forth where I'm like, I get it because I know that a lot of younger kids watch the first season, especially when a lot of parents were not paying attention. But now everybody with COVID and stuff like that, they're like, you know what your kids saw,
Yeah,
and you're kind of like, what are you watching? But Demon Slayer was for like young people. I'm thinking like more middle school age was kind of like this huge phenomenon. It's all
Yeah.
over the internet. It's everywhere. You cannot get away from Demon Slayer because it's super
right.
popular. And so like you do have this like freak out moment with parents where you're just kind of like, I feel like I can't control what my kids are seeing anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I
Well,
mean?
that's been the story for the last 10
Right,
years.
yeah.
Right. So you kind of
internet
are
is a
like,
thing.
okay, because
Facts.
that's the whole thing with like online communities and stuff like that. You
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
find out where the line is between when between personal responsibility and what you are responsible for as someone who's creating something or housing something. Where's the line between Facebook allowing for like misinformation to be spread on their website to censoring people? Where is that line? And so you see that playing out in like in the more public sphere now, in the stuff with Australia, or was that Australia that had that rule about like you can be liable for what someone else says in like your comments or something like that. It's like a whole thing. I'm getting maybe too political, but
that's crazy.
That
right?
Nuts.
But it's this kind of idea where it's like, how much of what you put out in the world are you responsible for? With like that kind of stuff. And so it's like, okay, if you're making a kids show, or you're making a show that kids watch, and you put something in there that thematically isn't kid friendly, like where is that line? Do you say the celebrity thing, I'm not a role model, your kids shouldn't look up to me kind of thing?
Yes.
So then it's like, okay, then what is made for children?
Yeah. And
you know what I mean?
The things that are
things
listed
that
for
are
children.
supposed to be like things that are, that's what I'm saying. Demon Slayer was.
But
it was listed as a thing that was for kids.
I think it's a sign of the times too, because
I don't think kids should be shielded from polygamy.
Those mid-90s cartoons, Batman, Gargoyles, those were deep.
Yeah, they were.
And they were dark. They were dark.
Like serious subject matter. It wasn't comedy or nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I think, but it switched to everything is, I mean, and then the newer cartoons theme became more innuendos. Like they were deep, but it was all innuendo. Like Andy,
where your
SpongeBob.
parents would know the joke.
Like it's goofy, very odd parents or something.
Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Like the subject matter was still deep, but it was all innuendo. So I think they're looking for more of a
something more
sugar coated.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
Like I said, I still hold to that, like, it's parents that don't want to talk to their children kind of thing, because I feel like a lot of parents are like, they want to shield them from like things that are real in the world, because they just don't want to address it, or they feel like it's too early. And sometimes it is too early. Sometimes your kid can't watch Demon Slayer and they want to.
Yeah, I think
there's sometimes that's
well, you gotta be okay with being
we're
like,
telling them no.
Not in my house.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
the kids at school talking about it. You ain't fucking watching it.
So I think the problem, and this is my little mini expertise in this topic, but the problem is developmentally, kids, when they reach 12, 13, they're looking to exercise their options. They're looking to make those decisions for themselves. They said, hey, mommy, you've put on kids YouTube and all this other stuff for me all up until age 12. Now something in me, something in my brain and in my heart wants to make decisions for myself. So it's kind of hard to safeguard against that, because these kids are going to if you're going to hold them back from it, they're going to find a way to it.
Right.
So I mean, it probably would be better for you to engage them in it, and instead of trying to keep them away from it, watch it with them.
Take control of the conversation.
Yeah, watch it with them. So if some weird come up, you could be like, "Yo, that's weird," and you'd be like, and your kid would be like, "Yeah, that probably was weird." Like, because you're not going to hold them back
with
from
their
it.
friends that don't know shit.
But then it doesn't become forbidden knowledge. Then the forbidden part of it makes it attractive. So once it's not forbidden, it's less attractive to go sneak off and try to.
Then they make a more informed, educated decision about something, rather than it being like a rebellious decision, or like
I don't know what it is.
I want to try it on for size. Where if you have the conversation with them, like, what is polygamy, and like, what does that look like, or whatever, and then it's kind of like, okay, that definitely sounds like something I'm not interested in, or that I am, instead of it being let me try this and potentially like mess up my own psyche, experimenting with shit you could have just told me about.
Right. Yeah, you were gonna say.
Well, I was gonna say that's kind of like what we talked about after we recorded last week with like a lot of folks in the church.
Yeah.
Like, and how you have a lot of younger generations of people leaving the church because the church is not willing to talk about certain things. You know, whether it's sex and what sex looks like or what's supposed to be like. You have parents that are not willing to talk about tough topics with their kids for fear of implanting knowledge in their head. But the thing is like what we were talking about, like, if you don't talk to your kids about these issues, they're gonna find out.
Yep.
It's just
Somebody
not
else
gonna
will.
be
And they
from
gonna
a
fight
healthy
from their
place.
stupid little friend from school
Yeah.
that don't know
And
nothing about nothing.
if you make them feel like they can't talk to you
Yeah,
about it,
right.
Yep.
then
Yeah.
they'll never seek
Right.
like an adult. What did we just talk about? Disney be telling these kids that they can handle all their problems on their own. They do
Yep.
not
Right.
need you adding on top
First
of
of-
that.
Yeah, that's
So,
reckless,
like-
first of all.
I
Right?
got a little side story after George's point. My bad.
No, go for it. Yeah,
No,
that's my point.
no. What you just said is funny because I saw a TikTok clip, which was from Halloween Town. Which, by the way, did you know you ever watch Halloween Town?
No, I've just watched the other one. What is the other one? With the 3 witches.
That's a Hocus Pocus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and so Halloween Town, essentially what happens is this girl goes off into this weird adventure. She's 13. And before she goes off on this weird adventure, her parents like talking to her like, hey, you need to chill out, you wilding a little bit. And she's like, I'm 13. I think I'm old enough to make all of my decisions now. It's like
I do like Dave Chappelle did on the
It's like, you know your
on the
brain's not
parent
fully
swap.
developed yet,
Drop
right?
the kid off in the hood. You might want to sell crack. I heard that's what they do out here to make money.
So my sister was
That's
telling
funny.
me her and her kids were watching The Little Mermaid. And so in her song, she says, bet you on land they understand that they don't reprimand their daughters. And my niece Lily was like, what's she saying? Kind of thing. Like, she was like, I believe she was like, oh, that she was like, what's reprimand mean? And so she was like, it's like they don't punish them. They don't tell them what to do. And she just laughed, like Lily laughed. Because she's like,
reprimand.
like,
Right.
boy, is she in for a
Daily,
bitter
right.
surprise when she get her ass up here. But it was like, but then too, when you learn how old, like I think Ariel's supposed to be like 13 in that story.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, Trident Man wasn't wrong. Why did I call him Trident Man?
Trident Man. Her
It's
He's
dad.
a whole
fine.
Greek god, but whatever.
It's fine.
Tried it bad.
Trident Man.
Man.
Put some respect on
Put
I think
that
I was
man.
respect
gonna
on
call
the
him
king's name.
Poseidon, but that's the wrong one.
I don't
It's
know.
Neptune, ain't it?
Well,
Yeah, he's
it's-
Neptune.
You're not wrong. I mean, it's Roman versus Greek, but
Yeah,
anyways.
whatever. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
They do say Greco-Roman, so it's
Yeah, same deal.
Yeah, if you mix them up, it's
yeah.
fine.
Let's talk about my man Totally Not Mark. I think you also have more details on this than me. I didn't get to watch the video,
Yeah, I
but I
saw
did
the
read a
video.
little bit on it. Y'all talk about Totally Not Mark. What's going on with him?
So
Who is Totally
the
Not Mark?
long and the short, Totally Not Mark is a YouTube creator. He's been a YouTube creator for a long time. He's one of the I don't know if I'd say he's one of the biggest, but he's one of the most well-known YouTube like anime creatives. Where he like does reviews, he'll like do reaction videos, like, and a lot of times, and part of the reason he's in such hot water right now is because he actually has clips of anime in his videos, and he like discusses the clips. He like does reactions to clips and stuff like that and reviews. So Toei did they made a copyright claim on 150 of his videos, so like 3 years of his catalog, basically 3 years worth of his catalog. And so he is no longer able to make any money on any of those videos. So like they're all demonetized right now because of this copyright claim. Yeah. And the problem is, and why people are so frustrated is because, so obviously you have the fair use issue. But the problem is that and what I was reading about is Japan does not have. Japan doesn't have a fair use clause in their content.
Wow.
That's what keeps a lot of those old games that they've talked about.
They're
There's
talking about
some
they can't re-release
legislation
games. Yeah, exactly, because of fair use. So Japan's rules don't have a fair use protection versus YouTube, who's supposed to. And so now the debate is, okay, well, this Japanese company is saying that you're using their content illegally. But he's using the content in a manner that's correct for most international law. And he's using it correctly according to YouTube's standards. So the thing now is like people are mad that YouTube is not defending him because he's using the content correctly. And people are also mad about the fact that Toei is also taking advantage of him. Because they actually approached him and he's partnered with them to do promotion stuff for them, even just this year. And so the problem is you have a company that is taking advantage of his viewer base, taking advantage of his content to now go around and stab him in the back and be like, hey, you can't use our content. You can't make money off our content.
Yeah.
So that's why it's such a big issue is because now creatives are like, okay, well, anybody that's doing that to any degree could be next.
I have a hot take on this, but go ahead.
Oh, go with we like hot takes first.
No.
While it's hot, go ahead.
We're going to have the little flames underneath.
All right.
Right. So here's my thing. I think that the blame lies with YouTube in not having enough transparency, where it's like, if you know that Japan doesn't have fair use and that they have every legal right to say, hey, this is our content, take it down, then you need to be transparent about that. When you talk about fair use, say, hey, these are the fair use laws. They will work in these countries and these countries' contents. It will not work in this or that place. Post at your own risk. Yeah. Then it's kind of like 150 of your, that's on you. Like you knew that, but that's the other hand of it, where everybody knows that Japan doesn't have, not everybody knows that. But like people that are,
but they got a close hand on a lot of this stuff.
Right. People that are into, like he's talking about, I follow all the fair use laws and all the countries that he felt like were relevant.
Yeah, he did say that. But
it's like, but you know that they don't have a fair use law in place for you to even follow.
What is, I think it's hard because who has jurisdiction over what, where? Yeah. Like like YouTube is an American company. Right. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure they've have an American's publishing for like dubs and stuff for certain things. Yeah. So does it become an American property at that point?
Well, that's the thing. Right. So that was Japanese the thing about the Australian thing that I touched on earlier. When they were talking about you being responsible for your comment section on your material, there were a couple news channels that cut off their page accesses in those countries. So in order for YouTube to not have to follow Japanese law along with every other law, they would have to make YouTube unavailable in Japan,
or at least those content creators.
Right. So they would have to be blocked from the country.
Course of action.
Where it's like, okay, if you
that
have,
would make more sense, right? Like,
but then what do? You have different creators elect to not be shown in Japan versus shown in Japan. Yeah. Like, how does that work? Yeah. Because then on the other side of the coin, I don't not understand Toei animation.
I mean, I understand it, but to do it at this point in one day, like it ain't like they've been doing little by little throughout, and it's just totaled 150. They did 150 overnight.
No, I agree. That's a big move for sure.
So I think that's I think if it would have added up over time instead of just being right now, you can't use our stuff no more.
I think that I think a lot of creatives are like this, where people resent the idea that someone can make money off of their shit just by.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm a hip hop fan. I know how that goes.
Right. Yeah, right. I think so. It's just kind of like, I mean, they're not wrong. He is making his money off of the backs of other people's creativity, and so if someone feels like, I don't want you to make money off of my shit.
I see. This is where,
but he's a reviewer, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But that's an American sentiment.
That is an American, but also they have provisions for parody in Japanese law. So if he was completely making fun of it,
then he would be okay.
Because he's appreciated, he's getting. So this is my thing. I think that it's not smart for this company and companies alike to start this course of action towards people who, sure, they're making money, but it's also free publicity on these companies' behalf. Let's be real. I think that's my issue. It's like, he's doing them a favor.
But Toei's been doing this forever, though.
Yeah, right.
They've been knocking people
like
that's what I'm saying.
They've never done 150 in a day that I know of.
Right. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
They don't buy into the free publicity thing that we do.
Yeah. Well, I think or partnership or whatever. But I think the problem is I don't think this is the problem. you're hedging your bet on something risky. If you're not going to hedge your bet on content creators, folks like us, what are you trying to go the traditional route, or you just think that things are just going to live
in Japan?
because
they still do.
but
Their
they're not
business
gonna
models
live.
are stuck in the 80s still, and they're still thriving, and so that's why they don't want to change. If what I'm doing is working, I am still making millions and billions of dollars a year.
But that's not the future though.
Change. But that's what I'm saying. Until
they're
forced to change, they won't change. And so maybe because the culture is changing, maybe because of globalization, they'll have to change.
But
their
that'll be too
model.
late. And that's what I'm saying. Like they'll be too late. I think.
Do you think it'll be too late for Toei?
I think any business.
I feel like Toei has they can kind of do whatever the fuck they want.
But on that note too, though, I feel like this was a bad move for them. Like, I feel like a lot, like Malcolm was saying, little stuff here and there is different. Like, you make such a targeted move like this, like against such a big name like TotallyNotMark is, like that's a statement that's going to be incredibly polarizing. Like, because right now, obviously, you have people that are like super up in arms about this.
Yeah, and like you said, I'm sure it's other people too.
There's people, obviously there's gonna be people that get it, like, okay, Toei's totally within their rights to do that. That's fine. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. But at the same time, you're gonna get more people that are mad about what they did than people that understand.
Yeah, but I think the issue is the market is their actual market going to be messed up enough with this move, and I don't think
not right now. But I do.
YouTube's not that important in Japan, and by and large, their primary focus is still Japan. Yeah. They're branching their hands out and stuff. Doing a partnership with someone is very different than them using your content under fair use type of clauses. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you on that, but I don't. Here's the thing. YouTube is, and I'm not going to say like YouTube is the biggest. I see other platforms like YouTube as well. The model is the future. And that's what I'm saying. I think like if you say, hey, we're going to make a statement, and I ain't going to say attack. That sounds kind of, they kind of got at this guy's pockets. If we're going to attack, we're going to make a statement. And we're just going to stick with this model. I don't care how big your company is. We've seen them all fall down when they don't want to. Blockbuster, one of the only movie, not that it's as big as this company, but one of the only places that you get movies from on a Sunday night, depending on where you got it from, $3, $4 rentals. Right, Blockbuster. They did not want to fold to the new streaming wave that was ahead of them. They saw it. They had an opportunity to be like, you know what? We could be like Redbox. Instead of doing that, they said, nah, we make plenty money doing what we do now. And we got our customer base. We got our families. They come in. They watch movies.
Blockbuster is not on Toei's level, though.
No, Blockbuster is not
close.
And
the trajectory is the same as my point. Though. That's what I'm talking about.
What Lance is getting at is that it's the lack of evolutionary growth. With Toei's marketing strategy.
I feel like people underestimate Japan and Japanese companies' willingness to be like, all right, fuck y'all.
Because they're
take all our shit back.
We see them do it.
And they're also not as
anyway.
money driven as we are.
Yeah.
So it's not like I got to squeeze every last penny out of this.
They're not worried about trends.
They're like, I'm going to lose like $10 million, but I'm
going
to do what I want with my own stuff. I could do that.
Sure. Yeah.
So it's
like they will close their borders first.
The culture is different. Right.
They be like, you don't like that we don't want y'all to talk about our shit without us saying you can talk about our shit. Then give us our shit back.
It's you
don't have to, like, nobody's expecting from movies. They're like, boycott the movie that's going out. And I'm like, nobody fucking expects for American releases of recently. They've been off the charts and people have been kind of like, we might be able to make some money over here. You boycott it now, you're going to lose all that headway we just made with even convincing them that we were important in their market model.
You have to weigh I think you have
The
to wait.
Eternals that just
Like,
happened?
No,
one of them?
I know.
No,
I'm
one of the
talking
movies.
about the anime movies. So like
Oh,
Demon Slayer,
oh,
One
yeah,
Piece,
yeah.
the
My
Dragon
Hero
Ball
movie,
Super.
Yeah.
My Hero
Those
movie.
movies made a lot of
One-
money over
yeah.
here, and people
Yeah.
were like, "Oh, we can make money in America off of anime," and so
Yeah.
they've been dipping their toes
Yeah.
in it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I
there's a
feel you.
new movie coming out, and they're like, "Boycott this movie because this happened to this."
Yeah,
YouTuber,
right.
and it's like, wait, no, because we're gonna lose our headway. We're gonna lose our
Yeah.
our
Yeah,
ticket
no.
in the game.
I've been waiting 30
Yeah,
years
right.
to see
Yeah.
some
Right.
anime in the
Right.
movies theater.
Well, I know
Right.
they're gonna be like, "Oh, it didn't make money. It's not working anymore. Stop releasing movies
think-
in America."
I think the two important things is the jurisdiction thing. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
is
right.
do they need to be like global rules
Yeah.
because of the internet?
Oh,
One,
ooh, don't
Yeah.
get into that.
I mean,
Right.
I'm just saying, but
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
but this
yeah.
is the type of thing that brings up that type
Yeah.
of conversation.
Yeah.
And also, is there a sense of entitlement to anybody?
Yeah.
True.
That's
like
a
even this
reviewer?
guy, totally not
Yeah,
Mark.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's like,
'Cause-
hey,
yeah.
I deserve to be
Yeah,
able
right.
to, like,
Yeah.
do you? Do we?
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
So,
Yeah.
so like those
True.
two things, I think, are
I
the
just-
big
I
questions.
mean, and for my guy, like I think I'm just not in murky waters. I mean, even with us, I don't think our content is nowhere near.
Except for that one time.
I mean, they hit us once.
We got hit by Netflix,
Well,
right?
that's
Netflix hit us in the back of the head once.
Netflix fine. We got them back.
Yeah.
It's because we
It's
talked about.
fine. It's okay.
Yeah, because
We got-
we got this
you know what
shit
they hit us on?
It's okay.
You know what they hit us on? A Cowboy Bebop trailer. And now look at
They
you.
knew.
Now
Look
look
how
at
that
you.
They
worked
knew
out.
what was
We
going
told
on.
you.
Netflix?
We
What's
told you.
My
We
God.
tried.
Listen,
we
Netflix,
steering the
if
boat.
You ever
We tried to
to work with us.
We tried to
Yo.
miss that iceberg, but
look.
but you was like, no,
Can't
this the SS Titanic. We can't be sunk.
No.
Now look
Oh
at you.
Lord, let me
Throw
my
your
God.
diamond away,
Oh my gosh, let me pivot.
floating on the door.
That's hilarious. That's
Oh
fantastic.
Lord, let me pivot quickly to our main topic so we can get on
To
out
our
of here.
main topic.
What?
I said to our main topic.
Yeah, right. Like, I mean, it's gonna be
This is our
shorter than
we're just
this is our
shooting the shit
pre-topic,
at this, but-
and now the main
yeah.
topic was other stuff. So we
We're not
talked
coming back to after Christmas, so it's a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Gotta get it off our chest.
That's why
Right.
I'm wearing my Christmas sweater.
Hey, I see
It's
you.
Darth Vader.
I didn't wear my Christmas sweater.
Oh,
Sorry.
I just got
It's
to-
warm under the sweater too, though. So
I'm gonna just say
hope
I'm
so.
wearing a Christmas sweater because you can't tell am I lying or not.
Nobody knows. Nobody will ever know.
we won't tell.
We're talking about best and worst superpowers. And I should have been specific on the criteria for this. So this is any superpower that's ever been created in the imagine that's been published.
Any superpower,
No,
Yeah.
not,
any
you
medium.
can't. Don't do My Hero.
No,
My Hero
I mean,
doesn't count.
Anime kind of gets
Are
a
you
little
talking
odd.
like comic book superheroes?
That's what I'm- that's what
Oh,
I mean.
okay.
Okay.
Marvel,
Anime.
yeah, it's
DC,
like anime gets a little odd. I'm
Yeah,
not doing
right.
that.
Image,
but
that type of shit.
Right.
yeah, so I guess
Okay.
the first question I want to ask: what makes a good superpower?
I would say if it's like actually useful and if
Yeah.
it's unique. Because like my favorite like are the Caleb City superhero interviews.
Oh yeah,
Or
yeah.
the superpower interviews. Those are hilarious. Those videos. If you haven't watched those, go watch the videos.
Yeah.
There's two
That's
of them.
probably born out of his hate for My Hero
Oh,
Academia.
probably, yeah.
Oh, he hates my hero.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
that's funny. I didn't know that. But yeah, so it's kind of like that thing where like it
He
has
said
to
that in
be
the
a
interview
power
before.
that seems useful. You know, like because you have
Yeah.
all these superheroes that just have like random ass powers, and you're like, who are you? Like you have like your power is useful in like 2 situations.
Yeah.
Like
You know who Power Lance wants? Black Widows.
he's gonna fight you. after
Jordan,
this, bro.
Jordan, what were you saying? You had an actual point you were making
Right. So
before
I mean,
Malcolm
I feel like,
Ruley interrupted.
I feel like it has to be useful and it has to be somewhat interesting. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
Yeah.
'cause-
Yeah.
and you know, certain powers are like useful, but they're played out. You know, like
Yeah.
Superman's powers. Superman's the most bland superhero ever.
Yeah.
Not
Like,
the most-
He can
Super
fly.
bland.
He can fly. He can shoot lasers from his eyes, and he's real strong. And he's real
Superman
fast.
is the
Like,
is the immigrant's song. Is
Superman.
what it is. He said,
I mean, that's
"I'm
what
gonna
it's
be the most
supposed to be,
American
Is the
American that's
softest
not from
nigga ever.
America."
This nigga
And
south.
so he overcompensates.
The only
for
time
being an
I had
alien.
respect for Superman is when they killed Lois Lane and he
I-
went ape shit.
I got respect for I will get to it, but I got respect for evil Superman. But
Yeah,
that's
evil
a whole
Superman,
nother-
exactly. Because that man was
Really?
like,
Is that Red Bright?
F everybody.
You like-
Yeah,
Oh.
without doubt.
And
Yeah,
like when he
no.
killed the Joker. Like,
Yo,
yeah.
that one's crazy Superman. That one's
Yeah.
great too. But
Good Superman is
I
he's
like
bland.
Good
I'm not a
boys.
He's
Superman
bland.
at all.
I hate
I'm
No,
not
I'm not any
all.
traditional Superman, but
Superman.
all the other,
None of them.
No, you
None
got to
of
watch
them.
the scary Superman.
don't
Yeah,
like
I don't really
Superman?
like
Sure.
Superman now.
What makes
No, I
I
don't
like
like.
Superman.
What
He's
makes
cheap.
He is
He's
cheap. He's a yeah.
He's cheap. That's why they
I
can't
do
make
like
a good
it
video
better
game
when
because
they
he's
had
cheap.
him jumping instead of flying.
What?
Okay.
Anyway,
what makes
right.
a good superpower?
I think a good superpower is when you can do whatever the fuck you want to do. If it's a power that enables you to do what you want, that's a good ass power. Like some of the powers you have, and like you can do some stuff, but like you don't have the like range to kind of do everything.
It's like having super strength, but you can't fly or move fast.
Yeah, like stuff like that, where it's just kind of like, oh, like it's a bonus in this area, but it's kind of like a down on another.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you on that. Malcolm, what you got?
What makes a good superpower? That is nearly impossible to beat. So
Ooh, that's
I
good.
think that's what makes a good superpower.
That's good. I like the I
We're
like
telling
the
on ourselves. Go ahead.
I like the unique one that you brought
Yeah.
up too, because I think like being able to do whatever you want is important, but I think if your power is born out of some sort of event or trauma or something like that, those are usually the coolest kinds of powers.
Yeah.
You know, I think those are like, again, that's why Superman is not really my guy like that. But
He's just a powerful alien.
yeah, I'm like, that's typical. But like, I mean, we ain't talking about my hero, but you think about those kinds of quips and stuff like quirks and stuff like that and how they pop up. It's very interesting. But anyways, let's get to it. Actually, let's go with worst. I like to go with worst. Let's go with worst superpower ever invented, ever created. I'll take the easy one just because I told y'all this one before, but I'm still going to bring it up on air. Flying.
Yeah.
Flying is the most impractical superpower ever. It can only be paired with something.
Right.
And if
That
it's
can't be
not
your
paired,
only power,
even when
right.
it's paired with something, so what? You can fly. Like, so what?
It's like you got to come down to hit me, and that means I can hit you too.
That's what I'm like. You don't got like, unless you got the whole package, I could put hands on you if you ever land. Like
Exactly.
It's not
catch him unawares.
right.
Like, oh, you in a room now? What's up? Where you going?
Like you can get literally shot
like a
out the
balloon.
sky.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
that's what
catch
I'm-
you and pull you back down.
No problem. You get
That's
volleyed.
very
It's
true.
like you have the durability of a goose.
Bro,
It's like
geese
we
are mean
playing
though.
duck hunting, nigga.
They're like shooting what are those things?
The clay things.
Yeah, the clay dolls, whatever they call them. Yeah, it's like pull, pop.
It's good shit.
Yeah, flying is. I feel like
I would agree.
flying is low hanging fruit.
I would agree. What's
I took
worse
it.
is needing wings to fly like Angel.
That
Or
sucks.
Hawks.
Yeah,
It's my
That
hero.
sucks.
But he
Yeah.
can
I'm like,
control his feathers
Yeah,
though.
Yeah,
That's
but
a little
then
different.
he uses his feathers. He's like, I don't have enough feathers
but
to
they're
do
like
this.
blades though.
Yeah,
too,
wings-
so like those are
Yeah.
he's different. He gets a pass on the wings.
Does
thing.
But wings
Yeah,
are
he
mostly
does,
dumb
for sure.
though.
Because he can
Wings are
control his
dumb, though, for the
feathers
most part.
too. They're like
For the most part.
bullets.
If he
Yeah,
splits
right.
his feathers, then
But-
he can't fly anymore.
Oh damn! What else?
You get the little chicken wings.
Malcolm, get out.
I mean, I feel like certain things are considered superpowers and they're really not. Like, you know,
Ooh,
when you
that's
think
good.
about like I would, you know, obviously we're watching Hawkeye, but like you think about the Avengers, Iron Man does not have a superpower.
No.
Hawkeye
Well,
does not have a superpower.
Well,
Black Widow does not have a superpower.
She does.
I don't care
No,
what
she
you
don't.
say, Malcolm. You gonna accept the truth one
Assassin
day.
training
What
is not
about
a
what?
superpower.
well then, but
About
then you
the
gotta
fact
say
that-
that like people like Deadshot and Bullseye don't have any superpowers.
No, they don't.
They don't.
They don't.
That's not
They're just
superpowers.
very
It's just
talented.
Yeah,
yeah,
they're
they're
very
just
Yeah,
like
they just-
trained assassins. That's all they are. So
I
with
think
Batman,
one of them though they
Batman
made
is just
where
a
it's
nigga
like
that fight
some
good.
like
And
superpower
has money.
that they can't
and has
miss.
money. Money is his superpower.
Money is
like,
Batman's
okay,
superpower.
Actually,
that's what I don't like.
no.
He's
Batman's
also a ninja.
superpower.
Money is not
Batman's
superpower.
superpower is his unstable mental health. That is his
That's funny.
That is his
It's a super
superpower.
disability.
I love that. For the record, I love Batman.
Oh, I love Batman too.
Ooh,
My
ouch.
favorite DC hero.
Hot take.
I I smile inside every time he beats Superman in any medium.
Yeah,
I was just gonna talk
that's
about
my
how
heart
he
smiles.
always had to drop on everybody
My
in
heart
Justice
smiles.
League.
That's the thing is like,
Yo,
Batman has contingency plans to beat every single member of the Justice League.
will live off the fat of that one moment.
He's done it more than once.
He's done-
One, he
done
does it more than
on
once.
TV, but he's done it like so many times in the comics.
and
And
he
then what
dropped
did
the,
he say? What's your contingency plan for you?
Yeah.
The Justice League.
which
Nigga, what?
failed
Yeah, right.
because he's fucking Batman.
Yeah.
yeah.
Get
Yes.
out of my
He's got
house.
backup plans for backup plans.
Yeah.
Like,
With enough
nigga's
prep
right.
time.
right.
Yeah.
And
I
as long
can't.
as
Yeah.
as
Oh
long
my
as Lucius
God.
is still making gadgets.
All the
That was in
way.
every
Prep
single like
time.
Facebook group I was in
With enough
for like a
prep
whole
time.
year.
Yeah.
With enough prep time, man, get your. Anyways,
I was in a tough around my ass. Like,
worst superpower.
Flying is good, but that's interesting. Because with the thought of flying, you would have to go something like super speed, because that has to be
Yeah.
paired with invulnerability or some
well,
extra
I mean,
dimensional
But I
thing.
don't
not
quite-
necessarily,
yeah,
because the
what-
Flash is not anything but fast.
No,
Like,
but he has, but it's an extra dimensional property to his speed, so that's why
yeah,
if he hits a pebble, he's not gonna explode. Like,
Yeah.
sure. But I mean, it's still just speed.
But it's still
though.
kinda
Right,
dumb.
Yeah, right.
so
Like,
like if I
speed is
So
run
fast, I can run through time.
Well,
if I
what
run
if you do
if I
like-
run a million miles an hour and I
Run your
run
ass
into
back
a
home.
pebble,
Well,
I'm
the
going to
understand.
explode
Well, I
if
would
I'm
say
not.
the
Well,
understanding
that's like
is
in The
that
Boys. Like, they talk about that,
if
where he
you
runs
can
through
fly, if you can fly, then that means that you're not gonna like run out of air if you're in the air. You know what I mean? Like the understanding is that if you can fly, you'd have the properties of your body that would allow you to be able to fly.
hollow bones.
Yeah, but
Well, I think
but
about
that's not
too, like,
necessarily.
with that. Like Invincible talked about that a little bit because like when
Yeah.
he left Earth's atmosphere, like they can't
Yeah.
breathe
Yeah.
in outer space, so he had to like have
Yeah,
like
the
a
whole
helmet so
joint
he could
on.
breathe,
Yeah.
which I thought was a good touch.
But he wasn't like on the top of Mount Everest, like heaving because he
Yeah,
couldn't
right.
breathe, like
Yeah.
people would
Yeah.
normally be. So, like that's the level of flying that
Sure.
I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Sure,
Man.
I can dig it.
Yeah. Let's talk about the best one then. Let's talk about the best power.
So I think my favorite that I've seen that's really unique was one from Heroes, where you had the
Ooh.
person that had the ability to mimic and instantly learn anything they watched.
Yes.
So whether it
That
was
was-
like
oh,
martial
it's supposed to be
arts
like
or
that.
like I thought that was super cool. So like
Yeah.
anytime I get that question, that's my answer.
That
Yeah.
was-
Either that
That's
or
why her name's
Nightcrawler's
Echo.
yeah, either that or Nightcrawler's teleportation.
I was just
Because
gonna, that was
like-
gonna be
Yeah.
mine.
Yeah,
Teleportation.
because Nightcrawler is
good
my
one.
favorite X-Men.
It don't even got to be far. Like, did you?
Just breaking stuff. I don't know, it might be broke.
It don't got to be. Teleportation is such a good one because
Freak
I'm
out
gonna
on the
talk
camera.
right through it.
Yeah, bro. Keep going.
Teleportation is a good one because you don't even have to teleport far in order for it to be useful.
Yeah.
It just has to be whenever you need to. Like Nightcrawler is like he can do both. It's like whenever he needs to use it in a given fight in a given moment, or if I need to teleport all the way out of a situation or whatever, which I think is really cool. And I really appreciate people who use teleportation as like a fighting I'm gonna say like a what in the it's cool. But I like people that use teleportation as like a accessory.
Yeah.
So it's not just I'm what's that movie? Jumper? No, that's also a good one too.
Yeah.
But like it's also like dang, who were we talking about before I got distracted? Nightcrawler. Like literally mid fight, boom here, boom here, boom here. So
Yeah.
I've always thought that was great. I think the only downside to most teleportation is depending on the circumstance, it can actually weigh on your body. So that's the thing about Jumper.
There's usually a catch too.
It's always a catch. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, just give me the mic.
And you could always possibly F it up.
Like,
If you F it up, you F it up royally.
Because that's the thing with Jumper that I kind of appreciate because you think about teleportation could. I'm improvising here. I feel like with and only those on video will know what we're talking about. If you're watching the YouTube, if you're not, you should watch it. So with Jumper, I felt like they added an interesting limit because like you had to have one been to that location before.
Yes.
And you have to have like you have to have some sort of physical connection to where you're coming to and from. And then you leave a trail behind where somebody could potentially follow you. Whereas with Nightcrawler, it's not the same. Like somebody couldn't follow him through his teleportation. But like you said, with the physical toll on their body, like so with that, like in like a drawn out fight, so like a Thanos fight, teleportation is not a great superpower to have because you're not going to be able to do enough damage before you're tired. Like,
right.
And so, and then with Jumper, like your power doesn't mean crap to Thanos because all you can do is run. Like,
right. Pretty much.
So
you don't have any, and that's the one thing I appreciate about like again. So I talk about the best superpower because if you isolate it in a vacuum and don't got nothing else attached to it, you're not Superman. You're not. I was trying to think of the Marvel equivalent. My man's from Eternals.
Icarus.
You're not Icarus or anybody. You can't do.
Icarus.
But so that's why I do like, even though it has drawbacks, I do like teleportation.
Yeah.
I mean, I could go really cheap.
Ooh.
And do like, well, y'all wouldn't know either of them, I don't think.
Don't say laser vision.
No. Reality manipulation, like Mad Jim Jaspers or Franklin Richards.
Yeah.
Where you can literally do whatever you want.
That's kind of cheating.
Like literally do whatever.
That's kind of cheating.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I said I could go the cheap
But
route.
there are a few cases for that. Dang it. There's we keep talking. There's another movie I just watched with that on it.
But yeah, like you can literally do whatever you want with no time. It just happens. But my answer would probably be the Invisible Woman's powers.
You mean from the Fantastic Four?
Yeah. She's literally one of the most powerful superheroes.
Because she can do force fields and invisibility.
Yeah, because it's not just turning. She can do the force fields.
Right.
She can put a bubble around your head. Yeah. She can put a bubble up your nose and make your head explode. Like she could, all that. There's in the cartoon
it's
and in the
like
comic,
space manipulation.
Yeah. In the cartoon and in the comic, she went evil and she just wrecked everybody's shit.
Yeah,
like she was flying and all that because she was manipulating this. However her power works.
Yeah,
so it's not just turning invisible. Like she's like low key OP. She's like Jean Grey-ish. Like if she really let loose, she would be.
There's
OP.
that one guy that does the science thing. What's his name? Kyle something.
Oh yeah.
Because science, I think it's called.
Yeah,
and he was talking about having the ability of invisibility. That's the thing. Is like you would have to be like blind, or you'd have to have your eyes closed the entire time. Yeah, because the way that sight works, is that light reflects. So in order to be invisible, the light would have to not reflect off of you, which means you wouldn't be able to see while you were invisible. I was like, that's interesting.
I mean, it's scientifically accurate, but we ain't trying to think that hard.
Yeah, that's
well, wouldn't that be a super interesting thing? Though,
it'd be a great
have
drawback.
Someone that's blind have that ability.
Well, it's like to be invisible, you actually got to be naked, type of thing. Like your clothes don't turn invisible.
What's his face from The Boys?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's a good ass show too. The Boys,
for sure.
Evil Superman.
I feel like my cheap one is definitely invulnerability, where it's just like
it's also cheating.
Oh, boo!
Is that cheap though? Because you don't have any other powers.
Yeah, it's not like.
I mean, it's kind of a sucky power too. I know this to you, but just because if you only have solo power,
see, but you underestimate Chris' willingness to save anybody. She's not trying to save anybody.
She's trying not to die. Nobody. She's like,
so she don't care about having any other powers.
She's like, I can't fight good, but you can't kill me.
I'm the type of person that's like, no, legalize everything and let people be at their own devices.
This is dark, but Chris' superpower just reflects her state of mind most days. She's gonna just sit down and take it.
Listen. I'm dead. That's not a lie.
Come into the abyss with me.
Right. I'm gonna just sit here till you get tired and go away.
I feel like
So-
my other one would be my not cheap one would be maybe mind reading or something like that.
Ooh, I
Because
didn't
Chris
think
is
about that one.
manipulative.
I am
Tell us
manipulative.
about
She's
yourself
trying
more.
to. She's trying to be
Tell us
like,
about yourself more.
But I think more than
what's
being
the one with Taraji P
manipulative,
Henson where she can
I'm
read the man's
super-
minds? What a man
oh,
wants
the-
or whatever that was.
no,
Yeah.
a
that's
movie.
based
Yeah.
off of the
I've
What a
seen it.
Woman Wants.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be
Which
funny.
is based off of, anyways.
It
Yeah.
wasn't.
Right.
It wasn't based off of. Yeah,
No, it
was a
wasn't
different-
funny.
Oh, it was
Oh,
Which
you
one,
didn't
the
like
original
it?
one or Taraji P Henson's?
Taraji P. Henson wasn't
You
the
didn't like
original
it?
one's
I thought it was kinda
hilarious.
funny.
Mel Brooks is really funny in that.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
so
true.
sorry.
Oh, for sure.
But
Gibson?
no,
Gibson,
yeah,
maybe?
Yeah, it was Mel
that-
Gibson.
Didn't
I was
I
like, who is
say
Mel?
that?
No, you
talking
said
Oh my
Mel
gosh.
Brooks.
Mel Brooks.
The country star.
That's
Life of
hilarious.
Brian.
Yeah.
Monty Python, Holy
Right.
Grail. That
No, that's
That's
Mel
Mel
Brooks.
Mel Brooks.
It's great.
The what's this? No, yeah, mind reading. But I think more
Professor
than being
X?
manipulative, I'm very curious, if that makes sense. Because you just never really know what anyone's thinking, and you can like
True.
make assumptions based off of people's like body language or whatever. But some people are just really awkward, or some people are, super guarded and protected and stuff like that. I love to just like know what people are
you
thinking. I also hate guessing what people are thinking.
You would get
So-
really far in corporate America with that superpower,
for
for
sure.
sure. Like,
Kind of.
that's the only way I would
People
use it.
act opposite of what they think all the time.
Well, no, and I think that's the thing about
Yeah,
mind
but you
reading.
can So
It
even
doesn't-
if I
just
appeal-
because you can read somebody's
Do you know
mind,
how many people have been right about something that they thought or felt, and then they immediately got defensive and it backfired on me for knowing?
that's what I'm saying. It's,
You know
it's
what I
still
mean?
you're still wagering something.
Yeah.
But it's like
you can't double
Inception.
down.
I mean, if you had the ability to see what people thought, you just plant ideas. And
That's
make,
what I'm
and
saying.
make them feel like it was their
I
idea.
that's
Yeah,
what
and
I'm
then you go
saying.
along with it.
Man,
It's
I would
just-
do
it's
that,
just Inception.
or
Like,
gaslight, one of
Yeah.
the two, like all the time.
dying.
Like,
that's the kind of a dumb idea. Like,
what? What do you mean? That's why I like
Yeah.
that. I like that.
I
one.
love. Was there
You
a
be thinking
show that
something
did
like,
this,
"Well,
or was it a
that's
dream?
what?
I
I
can't
don't
remember. So it's this idea that it's like, even though you could like read people's minds or whatever, you could only read the present thought, and so you would have to elicit a thought or like a conversation in order to
Sure.
get them to think things that were helpful
Yeah.
to you.
Damn, that's not
Was that in
helpful.
a show, or did I just make
That's
that
a
up?
handicap.
Yeah, I'm like,
But do you know
it's
what I
also
mean?
hard.
Yeah.
Was
It's
that in a
doubly
show,
hard.
or did
That
was
might,
that
I
a
think
dream?
that might
like
have been
that.
a Tom Holland show. That movie.
I've
one that
never
just
seen
came
that
out?
movie
Yeah,
though.
I think you're
Is
right.
it like that kind of like idea
I
where
think
you
it
could only
is.
read their
I
present
think you're
thought?
right.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
So
the name
it's
of it.
like
It was-
you
it came
could
out
It's not
interrogate
like
someone,
it's not like
but
you
you
can
have
go
to
into
get
their
them
head.
to
Yeah. It's not like you can go
think-
ahead and search.
Yeah.
It's like you hear what they're thinking
then it
at
is
the
kind of
moment.
more like
Right.
Inception too, because
You kind of got to tune in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because you have to
'Cause
get
you're
them
still
to
planting
think
ideas,
along
right,
the lines that you want them to be in order
Yeah.
to be able to plant an idea.
Ooh,
Ooh,
man,
a dream inside a
That's
dream
good.
inside a
Excuse me,
dream.
I burped.
that'd be really good.
Can't wait for the new Matrix movie either. I feel like that's gonna be
You think
what
so?
it is.
Part of it
Inception?
was all a dream.
I think so too.
Like a Matrix inside a Matrix is the new Matrix.
Which is fine with me. It's fine. I'm gonna go see the movie anyways.
Oh, for sure.
I'm not
gonna
gonna
watch it
not
on
I
see
will
it.
see
HBO
anything
Max.
with
What are
Keanu
you
Reeves in
talking
it.
about?
Anything.
Are y'all
Doesn't matter.
before I
leaving the
before I
house.
close because we way over.
Super over.
What are y'all seeing the Spider-Man movie?
Oh, hell yeah.
I am supposed to watch it.
Yeah, I'm gonna sneak into the
eventually.
theater down the street from my job.
Okay, because I know we're not back here, but maybe we could do something.
I was gonna say, yeah, we're.
Well, I gotta
This
get
is,
y'all-
what, the 17th, 18th?
Yeah, it comes
Yeah,
out
something
this,
like that. I gotta get y'all
Next
Christmas
Friday?
gifts, so we gotta meet
Think
in
it's-
some level.
Yes.
I got y'all Christmas gifts.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, after Saturday, you won't even see Jordan.
Oh, tears.
Yeah.
Anyways.
For a couple weeks at least.
Yeah.
Oh, you go. Oh, you leave for a couple weeks.
Yeah, I'm leaving for like 2.5 weeks.
Okay,
in
okay,
California.
okay. What? So what day you leaving?
The 18th next Saturday.
Okay, I should have everybody in there.
Well, y'all know the slogan, man. It's been fun. It's been great. Y'all try to come at us in them comments. It's just content, so keep coming.
Yeah.
If you like,
As long as you trying to, I mean, if you can't take it, don't give
I
it
feel
out.
like I feel like our comments were pretty nice.
I'm not
Tame.
for sure. If you,
I feel like my comments were more harsh than the page's comments.
if you like our clips or our content,
yes.
subscribe, like, share with a friend, and y'all know the slogan: stay colorful. Peace.